train derailment in Tennessee.
Some routine road maintenance has led to a squabble.
We have some breaking news to tell you about. This is out of Bethesda tonight.
Night after night, the country's largest owner of local TV stations, the Sinclair Broadcast Group, reaches over a third of homes across the nation.
Compromise plan for the controversial Kenesha Sin.
Most of us think of local news as just that, local. Stations run local stories produced and reported by local people. But if recently you tuned in to, say, WVTV, which is Sinclair's station in Milwaukee, you saw this.
Does the president have to repeat that fact day in and day out for us to believe it?
That's Boris Epstein, former member of the Trump administration and now chief political analyst for Sinclair. And here he was again on WEAR in Pensacola.
The president stating the fact that the fringes of the left and the right
and on KSAS in Wichita
are both capable of hate and violence does not mean he's condoning any of it.
And again on every single one of the 193 Sinclair stations across the country. Eric Lipton is a reporter for the New York Times who's been covering Sinclair.
They have, what they call must runs, which include Boris Epstein, who is a surrogate for Trump, who is, on the air talking about conservative issues. While the local news stations largely decide what their local news is going to be, a covering of local government crime and local issues, there are these must runs that go on their networks across the United States, which have a decidedly conservative flavor.
This partisan tilt has many free speech advocates alarmed because not only does Sinclair own such a large chunk of the marketplace already, but it's hoping to get bigger still. If a proposed $4 billion merger with Tribune Media goes forward, Sinclair would now reach 3 out of 4 American households. Journalism professor Louis Friedland.
It is a real step in a very different direction to begin to say that the most trusted news source of most Americans is going to be allowed to be turned into an opinion organization, opinion machine for a very narrowly conservative point of view night after night in local communities.
Television remains the main source of news for many Americans. In 2016, 46% of adults said they got their news from local TV stations, and it's information they trust. 41% of registered voters said they trust local news to tell the truth, while just 27% trust national news.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities,
Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
We are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
we are concerned about trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 I feel like I'm too real. I ain't doing niggas no more favors. I feel like I'm too real. They be smiling, but you know they hate. Me and my niggas, we be laughing. We go so hard that ain't no understatement. I feel like I'm too real. Yeah, I ain't doing niggas no more favors. Yeah. Hey, straight from the jet, and I'm headed to the jet. Man, I'm headed to a check. Man, I just got a trip. Man, you looking at a vet. Man, you looking at the best. Steph Curry on my shooter when they aim it's all net. You say you been getting money, man, you lying, yeah, you lying. From all the S for 7-5, you ain't Brian, you ain't Brian. Man, my bitch came with a crew, and they all got. My niggas say just do what you do. Get in hoes, I ain't mad at you. I'm so fucking high, I'm in a whole nother latitude. She gon' bust it open, I'ma show you what the cash you do. Wheels offset, not the range, but the vet. Me and my team, what you mean? Man, I'm taking off. I feel like I'm too real. I ain't doing niggas no more favors. I feel like I'm too real. They be smiling, but you know they hating. Me and my niggas, we be laughing. We go so hard that ain't no understatement. I feel like I'm too real. Yeah, I ain't doing niggas no more favors. Yeah. Bad bitch with me, she the one I'm gon' keep. Fly from her head to feet, eyebrows on fleek. Yeah, skin like caramel. Niggas telling fairy tale. Don't worry about me, you know me, I'm doing very well. I been by myself, making stats by my lonely. Now these niggas acting like we squad, you don't know me. I been flying on these niggas, jigging me some aviators. Man, I swear to God, I ain't doing these niggas. I feel like I'm too real. I ain't doing niggas no more favors. I feel like I'm too real. They be smiling, but you know they hating. Me and my niggas, we be laughing. We go so hard that ain't no understatement. I feel like I'm too real. Yeah, I ain't doing niggas no more favors. Yeah. I feel like I'm too real. I ain't doing niggas no more favors. I feel like I'm too real.